I am Annita Florou, and I am a professor at the Department of Accounting.
What are you currently working on? What is your research interest now?
I've been working on several projects, some of which relate to auditing and ESG reporting. Recently, the European Union announced that it will soon require listed companies, but also large private companies, to prepare their own sustainability reports, which moreover will have to be verified by a third party, an auditor. So this is a big change in non-financial reporting, and naturally I'm very interested in this. I'm also working on a large-scale survey whereby we ask a wide range of stakeholders across different types of firms, small, large, private listed, questions about their information needs and preferences. So with this project, we try to address some of the long-standing questions in financial reporting.
That's something that I can understand the tie between this and current events. But I suppose that this particular subject was a far cry from what you were dreaming of becoming when you were a girl.
Yeah, definitely not. I think as many other girls, I dreamt about becoming a lot of things. So one day will be a pilot, another day will be a basketball player, because I used to play basketball also at the time, or a businesswoman, as I said, all sorts of things. At the end of the day, what I was really dreaming about was to become an independent and well-rounded person with a job that I like doing. We spend a lot of hours at work every day, and I think it is important for someone to be able to enjoy going to work.
And back then, did you have the impression that you had to fight against gender stereotypes?
Yes, for sure. I grew up in Greece in the 80s, 90s. So obviously I was surrounded by all sorts of stereotypes about what women should and can do with their lives. But luckily I was raised by a family that did not comply with these stereotypes, at least not as much. So, for example, I have a brother a bit older than me, and I always remember my parents, they never discriminated between the boy and the girl. They simply had high expectations from both of us. I also remember my mother, who was always working. In fact, she was running her own small business, which was rather unusual for Greek standards in those days. So I think I was lucky to have a family, basically, that helped me to overcome the Greek society's stereotypes.
And so at what age did you decide that you would really become a researcher, a scientist?
I would say pretty early. Around the time I was completing the undergraduate degree. But for me it was more about understanding what I don't want to become, which helped me understand better what is that I want to become. So in this way, I knew that I wanted to pursue a career that will allow me to be creative and to learn. I was also looking for some level of independence and flexibility. So with the limited experience, of course, that I had at the time, I felt that academia would be the right place for me.
And looking back at your career so far, did you feel that you've met many influential people that shaped your interest and your way of being a researcher?
Yes, I did, but it was not so much specific people, like if you want famous people. It was more like ordinary, everyday people that I admired for having certain qualities. And I still do that, actually. So I still look up to people who know what they want, they have focus, and they also have determination and perseverance. Because I do think that, after all, life is a marathon and not a sprint. And I believe that this also applies to a researcher's life.
having grown up in Greece, you certainly know what a marathon is. But I like the way in which you look for good qualities in ordinary people. So to wrap it up, you would think that being determined and having a focus is the key to becoming a good researcher.
Yes, absolutely. And to this, I will also add curiosity. I think that's a good quality for a researcher to have.
Thank you, Annita. It's been a very enjoyable talk.
Thanks for having me.